This story is a must-watch story for everyone. When my daughter first brought home the young man who said his whole family lived abroad, I had my doubts. Something about him just didn't seem right with me. My daughter was in a hurry to get married, but I told her to slow down. Even my pastor warned me to be careful. He said he felt uneasy about the man. I spoke to the people he introduced as his parents overseas, but that didn't ease my worries either. When I asked my daughter how they met, she said it was on Facebook barely 3 months ago. The young man claimed he had taken a month's leave from his job in the US just to come down and marry her and also take her back with him. A month before that, my daughter had already told me that her husband-to-be would soon come to ask for her hand in marriage. But whenever I tried to ask questions, she would either interrupt me or tell me to stop worrying. I kept advising her to be patient. I have 2 daughters and she's the eldest. My husband is late, so I called his family elders to help talk to her, but she wouldn't listen. She wanted the wedding done quickly before the man's 1-month leave ended. When I asked the young man about his extended family, he said he was born in Africa, but his parents fled the country years ago and lost contact with the relatives. I suggested he stay with us while we prepare for the wedding so we could get to know him better, but he refused. He said he had already booked a hotel. Both my family and my late husband's family complained about how impatient my daughter was being, but she ignored everyone. When I asked the man about my daughter's travel papers, he said their marriage certificate would help him process everything. I told my daughter to think carefully. How could he do all that in just 2 or 3 weeks? She said it was possible. I finally gave in. Even though my instinct told me something was wrong, I didn't want her to think I was against her happiness. The young man brought lots of money for the wedding. He handled almost everything: decorations, catering, even painting our house and changing our chairs. He gave money to both sides of the family and even blessed a pastor with some money. We held the introduction, engagement and wedding all in 1 week with only few members of the families. That day he came with flashy cars. Everything was perfect. After the wedding, said they were going to stay in the hotel and travel to Lagos the next day to start processing her papers. Next morning, they came to greet me before leaving. That was the last time I saw my daughter alive. 3 days later, I received a phone call. A strange voice asked if I was my daughter's mother. I asked about my daughter and the woman told me to come immediately. When I got to the hotel, my heart broke. My daughter was dead. They had killed her, cut off her head and breast. The young man was nowhere to be found. They didn't even take her belongings, and there was still money left in the hotel room. From the very first day, I knew something wasn't right with that man, but my daughter didn't listen. That was how the man she met on Facebook ended her life.